I'd like to start out with something because I want your opinion. Report today. I tried to explain this to Mr. Rico Beard. The Packers will not back down off of their ask for Rodgers. The conversation begins and ends with a first-round pick in 2024 from the New York Jets. Then they want other compensation. I have said it all along. This is personal for them. So here's my question to you. 2 weeks from tonight, is Aaron Rodgers a New York Jet?
I don't think the Jets have a choice. Yes, he will be a New York Jet 2 weeks from tonight.
Okay, because I'm with you. They have no leverage. Free agency's over. The Lamar thing isn't happening. And they cannot trot Zach Wilson out there or their fans will burn the stadium.
That's why they have to make the move.
Okay. Had to ask you, that report just came out about an hour ago. Go ahead with the rest of the menu.
Yeah, this report also came out about 25 minutes ago. Sportico is reporting, and all the NFL writers are reporting this, saying it's on the 1 yard line. But Sportico said Dan Snyder has reached an agreement in principle to sell the Commanders to Josh Harris. He is the co-owner of the Philadelphia 76ers. That group will include billionaire Mitchell Riles, and former NBA star Magic Johnson. Now, Adam Schefter's been reporting that there is a Canadian billionaire in his family that is still in the mix. So it's at the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
A lot of these players, reporters are saying, but it's here.
Yeah.
People in D.C. are popping champagne.
Yeah, and they should. I'm happy for them. That's been a nightmare for them for a quarter of a century. I think you knew it was going to happen today when reports broke last night that Jeff Bezos had withdrawn his bid. Not that it matters, because Dan Snyder would rather die than sell to Bezos. You can read about that backstory.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, though, because I did read a report at the end of last week that some within the Snyder circle were saying he was maybe willing to sell to Bezos because he wanted the $7 billion.
Right. And Bezos being the businessman. That's the difference. If I had his money, I'd be like, here's 10. Get out. What? 6, 8, 10. Bezos is worth like $500 billion. It doesn't even matter. Yes, I would be very bad. I would have been like, keep the change, dirtbag. Get out. Well, when? Now.
Pack your stuff up. It's mine now.
I will pay you $10 billion. Leave right now. Don't even bring your laptop. Just get out. But no, it's great for the NFL because the Washington, D.C. franchise cannot be a pariah. That's really bad for business.
Let's have this conversation real quick. Anthony Richardson's name is out there. It's probably going to be a top 5, for sure, top 10 draft pick. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler surveyed multiple NFL scouts and executives on who they would compare him to. And the comparisons came up as Josh Allen, Cam Newton, Donovan McNabb, Justin Fields. Those are the 4 common names that came up. Now, I'm not a fan of Anthony Richardson. I don't think he can be this type of talent from any 4 comparisons here. But do you see where he can be, ceiling-wise, any of the 4?
Yeah,
Allen, Newton, McNabb, Fields.
Yeah, because on a physical comp level, he's so big and physical and strong and fast that those are the comps you draw. I do worry about the completion percentage. It's a problem. It was a problem for Allen at Wyoming. He looked like he had it fixed until the last 2 years where he's turned it over 35 times. David, I think Richardson's a guy that's either going to get you a lifetime contract or get you fired. That draft pick is the ultimate risk it for biscuit. And it's the ultimate in projection. Because if you watched Florida, you can talk about drops. You can talk about the offense. You can say that his team was overmatched. He does not process information on film well. He doesn't. Now, can you teach him? Can it work? Sure, anything's possible. But I just get a little nervous. But he's the ultimate boomer bust. Like, do you ever see a scenario where 3 years from now we're going, Anthony Richardson, he's all right. It's going to be, man, I wish we had that dude, or that guy's a corpse.
We made a mistake.
Yeah, I just don't think there's a middle ground.
So there have been rumblings and whispers that the Texans may not love a quarterback as much as we think, and that they will go Will Anderson. Well, there's a report out here that adds to it saying the Texans love Will Anderson Jr. and aren't sold on the other top QBs after Bryce Young. But my question to you is, we are now 2 weeks away from round 1 of the NFL draft.
Yes.
The rumblings and the rumors that you hear coming out of each team's camp, do you just ignore them at this point?
I'm at that phase because I try to put myself in the position of Texans management. I have the number 2 overall pick in the draft. I cannot put Davis Mills out on that field again to a season ticket base and my luxury suite holders. And I can't do it. I can't believe they would take Will Anderson there. I would be shocked.
That would be a shocker.
Definitely. I really would, David.
So let's touch on this real quick. I've been finding a daily question that Bleacher Report has been posting, and I like this one for today.
Let's hear it.
Who gets a Super Bowl first? Tua, Lamar Jackson, or Justin Fields? Tua Super Bowl, not necessarily win it. They just got to get there.
I'm going to surprise you with this one. Justin Fields. Tua, I just have grave concerns about the health, and he's in the AFC, where you got to go through Herbert and Allen and Mahomes and Burrow, et cetera, et cetera. Lamar, well, I just think he stinks. And
with that organization, I mean.
Yeah, and I don't see the organization doing the things they need. And he also has a brutal path. Now, with Fields, look, clearly the worst of the 3 teams, but I feel like the Bears are loaded with capital. Ryan Poles, they have a clue what they're doing. He's an explosive player, and the only hurdles to clear are guys like Jared Goff and Jalen Hurts, and maybe what the Niners have. I'll actually say Fields, but I don't know that any of them ever get there, quite frankly.
That was going to be my next question. I think they don't. I don't think not one of those quarterbacks.
I think Fields got the best shot for me, but I'm biased. I am a fan of him. I like him a lot.
So let's jump one just for a second into the college ranks, because I saw this story with Matt Rule. He's the next Nebraska head coach. It says he seeks to return to relevancy after the humbling Panthers firing. And so then my question is in my head, at Nebraska, can you really become relevant at Nebraska?
Relevant, yes. Dominant, no. I'll go down with the ship. Someone hand me a clarinet and a tuxedo. Old Lang Syne's playing. I just feel like the West sucks. To be relevant, you win 8 or 9 games. We just saw it with Bo Pelini. It's not like it was 30 years ago. They've just made some bad hires. And with NIL, you're still the only game in town. There's no other pro team. There's a ton of wealth surrounding that university. I just feel like, yes, it can get done.
So if he gets relevant in Nebraska in 3 years, is he still the head coach in Nebraska?
Yes. Because I think the NFL was such a disaster, that door's closed.
No, not the NFL, but some other bigger college program.
David, no disrespect. How could I even answer that?
I know.
With the way the coaching carousel works in college, is anyone going to be anywhere in 3 years?
Probably not. Probably not. And then let's close it out with this, because this name is out there, but I don't hear a lot about him. He's probably a late round selection here, but you only hear about Stetson. You only hear about McKee.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Dorian Thompson-Robinson?
DTR?
Report says that he is more ready for the NFL than most people tend to believe.
I like 2 mid-round quarterbacks, DTR and Jake Haener from Fresno. Those would be the 2 guys. I don't have anything against Stetson Bennett. I'd take a shot on these guys and their upside. I like DTR. To play for Chip Kelly, you got to be smart. He's got duality to him. He showed up in big games. I have no issue. David, I'd take a flyer on him. Sure.
4th round?
Yeah.
5th round?
Listen, if that's what – now, again, I don't believe in wasting picks on these guys. Here's what you can do. Not you personally, but I'm saying listeners. If you don't believe me, go back through all these drafts and look at all the quarterbacks taken in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. Some of these guys don't even make the team the year after. Ask the Vikings how they enjoyed the Kellen Mond experience versus drafting a starter that might have put them over the top to get where they need to be.
Ask my Steelers if they like Josh Dobbs' experiment.
There it is. Mason Rudolph experiment.
Yeah.
How about the Giants where they blew not 1, not 2, but 3 third and fourth round picks in Eli's later years versus putting starters around him. Ryan Nassib and Davis Webb, and it doesn't, Kyle Lalata, it doesn't work.
Forgot about him.
So the odds would suggest that taking a DTR is a failing proposition. Taking a Jake Haener, same deal. I'd rather sign a veteran and just be done with it.
And that is in football today.